Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Marjorie Hash and I'm delighted to welcome award-winning classical Russian violinist Alena Baeva to our studios. A soloist who has played with the biggest philharmonic orchestras in the world, as well as explored more obscure works from the violin literature. She recently released a new album, Fantasy, and is currently on tour. Alena, thank you so much for being here in the Arts 24 studio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So you grew up between Luxembourg and Moscow, and you're an international woman as a violinist. What's it like being on tour and playing in Paris specifically?
Well, I love Paris so much. Since I was 10, I visited the first time, and I fell in love, of course, immediately. And actually, French culture plays a big role in my upbringing, because when I was 18, it was Rostropovich's idea to bring me here to study.
Oh.
So I spent several months a year for a few years in Chartres, living here in a French family, an amazing family. So I was absorbing, breathing French culture, language, and way of life, and enjoyed it ever since. So that's why actually I moved to Luxembourg later, because I just wanted to be close.
That's why your French is so good. It makes sense. Well, actually, Paris seems to attract a lot of people for a lot of reasons, including, and we're going to talk about this first, it's Kanye West, now known as, the controversy-courting rapper, took over Paris's Bercy Arena at the weekend for a listening event for Vultures One, his new collaborative album with Ty Dolla $ign. Fans flocked to Paris's Accor Arena to listen to the new album, while Kanye or Ye basically stood on stage. It's a listening party, not a concert. Now, despite mixed critical reviews, the album has already been breaking streaming records, including in Israel, surprising considering the rapper's anti-Semitic comments in recent years and clearly anti-Semitic lyrics in this new offering. Vultures One also debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, meaning his daughter, Northwest, 10, is now the youngest person to place that high in the charts. She features on his track, Talking. How about we check out the video?
Don't tryna test me, it's gonna get messy, it's gonna get messy, just bless me, it's your bestie, Miss Westie, just tryna bless me, just bless me.
Taken from the independently released new Kanye West Ty Dolla $ign album. Now, during the events, chants could be heard throughout the 20,000 capacity venue for French President Emmanuel Macron to resign. In recent months, pop concerts have increasingly become soapboxes for crowds to voice political opinions. And now, that's something that's quite interesting. You work in the classical field, which is a little bit different. You're partly Russian, partly Luxembourgish, you're European at large, and your partner is Ukrainian. Now, obviously, for the last 2 years, the conflict between Ukraine and Russia has been making headlines. How's that impacted you, both as a couple, but also as musicians and international musicians as such?
Well, so to say that it's a catastrophe what happened 2 years ago and started to happen earlier with complete falling of democratic values in Russia and human values also. Yeah, most of my friends left, and it's a great shame. It's a catastrophe for humanity, I think. And of course, for me personally and for my husband personally, it's a big issue. Yes, we worry about the future a lot, and we worry that information is being twisted so much in Russia, and there are some people even who support it outside Russia. That's really tragic. Yeah, I just hope. I'm so grateful for people who support Ukraine and Ukrainians so much during these 2 years. We should look up, and that's why I was thinking about it a lot when we recorded this album, because we need to dream. We need to have something to escape. When we are in our imaginary world, we can cope much better with. After that, after listening to music or going to concerts, after interacting with culture, we just can cope much better with real life challenges.
No, absolutely. Have you noticed also maybe your audience being reactive to events, in the same way as so that can happen at pop concerts or punk concerts? Do you think a classical audience is...
Well, classical audiences have been extremely responsive. Yeah, and sometimes I have an urge to tell something before I play or after I play or before an encore. I play with an orchestra, and that's always was accepted with a great empathy. So yeah, that's wonderful.
That's
I mean, we are all people. We are all human beings, and we cannot be separated from what's happening in the world. No.
Well, talking of dreaming to get away, your new album is absolutely fantastic. It's called Fantasy, and amongst others with Vadim, your husband and pianist, you explore the works of Franz Schubert and Igor Stravinsky. Tell us how this project came about.
We started to play with Vadim 18 years ago when we were students, and it has been a major privilege to work with such a musician. He's absolutely incredible. And then many years after, we realized we love each other. So we became a couple. But this project was evolving around Schubert's Fantasy, which is a piece as a chef d'oeuvre. It's a complete a journey. That's absolutely an amazing way to just look at yourself and the world from a different point of view. It is so beautiful. And around that, we also thought it would be nice to have a program for around fairy tales and fantasies. So it's very interesting not to often play it, including Messiaen Fantasy, which is a French, obviously, but it was not published until, it was not known, this piece, until recently. So it's very, very interesting.
Well, how about we check out one of some footage of you two playing together, which is very beautiful. Schubert's Fantasy in C minor there. Now over to another collaborative album that's coming out this week, and it stems from Manchester, England, involving former Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher and Stone Roses guitarist John Squire. It's an eponymous album that will delight Britpop and Manchester fans alike. Here's a track. It's called Just Like a Rainbow. The Liam Gallagher and John Squire record drops this week and will be followed by a European tour that will stop in Paris on the 2nd of April at La Salle Pleyel. You're playing Paris this week, which is very exciting. And one of the tracks that is on this new record is the Olivier Messiaen that you mentioned, Fantasy, which he was a composer but a pianist, and it was for his first wife, who's a violinist. Did this play into the way you and Vadim played the music?
Well, that's a pure coincidence, of course. No, it's very often when a composer is in love with a muse. Sometimes it's a wife, and of course he dedicates or she dedicates to the muse. That's a normal practice.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so you're going to be playing with a violin, which I've heard is very, very special. You've just got it here on the set with us. It's such a treat. It's very old. It's of Italian make. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Of course, it's a pretty unique violin. There are very few of them. It's actually 140 violins of this Guarneri del Gesù. An amazing Italian maker survived, and they're very precious. It was made in 1738 in Cremona, and every violin of this maker is unique and very different from other models. So it has a lot of history in it and a lot of soul and warmth, and that's what I love. Why I love this violin. So tomorrow we are going to play in Salle Gaveau, and I hope to share this beauty with everyone around.
Oh, and we're very lucky because you're going to be playing a little extract for us here on the show. What is it? What track are you going to be playing for us?
Yes, now I'm going to play a little excerpt of Méditation from Massenet opera, Thais. This is also a little bit dreamy mood.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to let you set up, and that gives me enough time to tell our fabulous viewers that France 24's latest news bulletin is coming up in just a few seconds, and you can keep in touch with all our culture news on france24.com and, of course, our social media at Arts24. Don't forget to check out her fantastic record, Fantasy, which she's produced with her partner, Vadim, piano, violin. What could we want more? I'll let you take it away.